Hey there, I'm about to record a yin yoga session. It's going to be a short session that's meant to restore you after a week of hard workouts. So we're going to be together for about 15 minutes. And what we do here is going to restore your energy and promote muscle growth. It's also going to make your body way more comfortable and give you extra energy stores for the next couple of days. So this is going to be a great practice for recovery and just for making your body more comfortable. So we'll be together today about 15 minutes. We're going to be in 4 different poses and we're going to hold those poses. These are all passive poses, so that you're not going to be doing a lot of work, although you may start to feel a little sweaty because your muscles may start to release. So we're going to be together for 15 minutes, 4 poses, all passive poses, and we're going to hold those poses for about 3 minutes, maybe a little bit longer on some, maybe a little bit shorter on others. I recommend doing a yin yoga something about once a week because a good stretch can last you that full week and help to continue to promote that extra circulation, the muscle growth, the continued release of your fascia so that your muscles can continue to grow and reshape after injuries. I will see you in the workout. When we do yin yoga, it's preferable to have the shoes off, not necessary. You don't have to have your shoes off. It's nice to have a mat on the floor. You don't have to. It's nice to have a block nearby in case you ever want to bring the floor closer to you. Again, you don't have to. Let's get started. So, in our first pose, we're going to be standing, and then the rest we're going to be on the floor. So, come around onto hands and knees and then come on up. And we're just going to take a forward fold. Your feet are going to be about hip distance apart. And we're going to fold forward from here. We're going to go hand to elbow, tuck the chin, and release the back. So you're going to start to feel everything in your back release. You're going to feel upper back release. You're going to feel lower back release. It may feel, stay in your forward fold. I'm going to talk you through this a little. May feel a little scary. Sometimes when you go hand to elbow, and you tuck your chin, you start to feel that upper back release behind your lungs. And that can feel almost a little scary. So I just want you to breathe through it. This is the point in class when we're just getting used to this feeling of releasing the muscles. So just breathe. Big inhale, exhale. Only going to be here for 2 more breaths. See if you can tuck your chin, allow the crown of your head to sink toward the floor, and feel the micro spaces that you're making between your vertebrae every time you breathe. And then once you get to that last breath, no matter how deep that stretch was for you, no matter how far down you were able to come, go ahead and start to come out of it. You can put your hands on your legs, start to walk yourself back up, and then find yourself on the ground with me. So we're going to come onto our tushes on the ground. We're going to put feet out in front of us. And this is going to be our first real yin style pose. We're going to hold this pose for about 3 minutes. I want you to take your hand and pull out on the tush meat just a little bit so that you feel the sit bones and the top of your thighs really coming down into the mat or the floor, wherever you are. Big inhale here. Exhale, forward fold, and just relax into that pose. In yin, we stay in our poses for about 3 minutes, maybe 5. We're not going to do any 5-minute poses today. The reason that we hold the poses for that long is that it takes time for the connective tissue between your muscles and your bones to release. So a stretch doesn't do us any good if it's less than 10 seconds. And the longer we can hold a stretching pose, the more benefit we're going to get from it. You're about a third of the way through this pose already. What you may start to notice is that the sensations are changing. So you may have started off feeling this in your lower back. That sensation may now have moved to upper back or to hamstrings or to gluteus or to calves. And all of those are good things. We're looking for this to change because over time, one muscle group will accept the pose. And it's time, that's when the sensation moves on to a different muscle group. And you start to become aware of those muscle groups. Your job is just to relax into it, allow gravity to do its work, meaning that with each exhale, you may feel your chest and shoulders coming a little closer to the floor, coming a little closer to your thighs, whatever it is, it's all good. Big inhale, exhale, keep sinking, keep relaxing, keep breathing. Hands to your shins. Start to walk yourself upright using the strength from your upper body. What you're going to notice is when you hold these poses for a long time, you get pinchy. Things get pinchy when you move out of the poses. And I don't want that to happen for you. So I want you to move slowly as you come out of the poses. All right, come back around onto hands and knees. If you have got a wall nearby, you can put your left shoulder up against the wall. So that would look like this, just putting my left shoulder up against the wall, but you don't have to. Makes it more passive if you do. Left foot is going to come right beside your left hand. Right foot is going to tuck, and then we're going to make a long runner's lunge. So you see how my right knee is straight. I'm working my right foot backwards a little bit more to let my right leg get real straight while keeping the left knee over the left ankle. Lay your right knee onto the mat and sink into this pose. This is a deep hip flexor stretch. Your hip flexor stretch is going to make your body more comfortable. When you can get a deep release in your hip flexor, you're actually releasing into your low back. A lot of times when people have low back pain, it's because they actually have hip flexor tightness. It's not because they have low back tightness. Our hips are like, we tend to look at them as having the front of your hips and the back of your hips. But the truth is, you've got muscles that move through your hips from the front to the back, from the side to the other side. There are all kinds of muscle groups in your hips. And so sometimes when your low back hurts, it's because the hip flexors are too tight in the front and they're pulling on the low back muscles. So I find that anytime I can get my clients a deep stretch in their hip flexor, they come away from that session feeling like their body is more comfortable. So we're just coming forward and down, and we're laying that hip down toward the floor, really feeling the opening in the front of the right hip. If you need a little bit more, you can pick up that right foot. You can reach for it with your left hand, and you can pull left heel gently toward your tush. I mentioned at the beginning of class that you might start to feel a little sweaty or hot. That's one for me that gets me a little sweaty or hot because it releases a lot of energy that's stored up in the right quadricep. And it comes into the body, and I start to feel a little misty on my forehead. So if you feel that, that is why, and that's no problem. Gently, slowly bring this left knee back to meet the right so that we're back in horse stance, toes together, knees wide, child's pose. Just 2 breaths here. And we're moving on to the other side. So we're coming back up to horse stance. We're going to bring right foot beside the right hand. We're going to tuck the left toe. We're going to work this left foot back, make your left leg really long, and then lay the left knee onto the mat, keeping right knee directly above the right ankle. Big inhale. Exhale, the hips come forward and down. We're feeling a deep stretch in the left hip flexor. I'm going to be quiet through this one, and we're just going to breathe. You're about halfway through this pose. Sometimes the hardest work is in the sitting still and letting time pass. So if you're finding it hard to be still, you're not alone. And it's okay. Just know, no matter what you do, whether you come out of the pose, whether you back off, whether you stay in it, this time is going to pass. If you need a little bit more, you can reach with the right hand. You can bend the left knee, and you can draw left heel toward left tush, really opening up big through the left quadricep. If that's an option that you're looking to play with, but you're not able to reach your foot with your hand, you can always involve a strap. You can use a belt. You can use a ribbon. You can use a canvas strap that would hold a yoga mat. Anything that's available to you will work. Release. Right knee comes back to the left, and we come back to horse stance one more time. We're going to do one more pose. Now, this one is going to be a really deep stretch in the chest, in the underarm, and even into our backs. I think I'm going to take my sweatshirt off to show this to you guys. This is called puppy pose. And when we come into puppy pose, we're really opening through the chest. what you're going to find is that you're going to be able to breathe deeper after you do this pose. So it's great for times that you're feeling stressed or for times that you are feeling hurried. On all fours, I'm going to go diagonal on my mat so you can see me. Your tush is going to stay directly above your knees, and you're going to walk hands forward. Now, if you get to the place where you can bring forehead to the mat, go ahead and do that. If you've got a little bit more in you and you can bring chest and throat to the mat, go right ahead. I want you to keep your body weight under your kneecaps. So if you start to feel your body weight coming up to the top of your kneecaps with your knees on the floor and your tush up in the air, that's when you know your tush is starting to move forward. I want your tush to stay right above your knees. And I want all of the opening to come through the chest, the underarms, the shoulders. You are halfway through this pose. It's okay to let a little bit of sway come into your lower back. It's okay to let your stomach sink a little bit. If you need a little bit more, you're going to walk hands toward each other, or you may even make prayer hands above your head. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Allow armpits to come a little bit closer to the mat. With your next exhale, hands come beside the chest, and we lift one more time to horse stance. From here, I want you to come around onto your tush. Bring bottoms of feet to the mat. Knees are bent. Feet are about hip distance apart. And we're just going to windshield wiper your legs. Exhale, both knees to the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, both knees to the mat. Big inhale. All right. Both feet, both bottoms of feet to the mat. If you'd like, lay yourself back for Savasana. We're going to relax and meditate. I'd love for you to stay for this if you can. It is going to run us past 15 minutes. And in Savasana, we just lay ourselves onto the mat. We let the thumbs splay out to the outside. We let the big toes splay out to the outside. That's how you can ensure that you are relaxed through your shoulders and hips. When everything is coming to the outside, you can't be holding on to any specific position with your shoulders and hips. Deep inhale, allowing your belly to rise and take up as much space as possible above you. With your exhale, release. Let your body sink into the mat or the floor. This is time for you to just allow the benefits of this practice to sink in. Take your time. It's okay if thoughts are coming into your mind. We like to release them during this time, and we do that by focusing on the breath. Allow yourself to dissect your breath, feeling the sensation of the air as it moves into your nostrils, feeling the air getting warmed as it moves from nostrils into nasal passages, down your throat, being warmed and cleaned as it enters into your lungs, filling your lungs from top to middle to bottom and from side to side and front to back. Allowing that breath to be big, allowing the breath to take as long as it wants to take. Relax the muscles in your face. And when you're ready, start to come back to your body. Gentle movement in the fingers and toes. Take a second to move onto your side, coming into a fetal position. Allow that to feel comfortable. Allow that to feel wonderful. And then push up on that bottom elbow and come up with knee into sit well position. Backs of hands on knees. Deep inhale. Exhale. Put your hands over heart. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.